In a world where every Rolex model has been cataloged, certified, and dissected by experts, there exists one watch that refuses to fit into any known chapter of the brand's history. A watch so strange, so impossibly out of place, that even the most seasoned collectors whisper about it in uncertain tones. They call it many names: the Phantom Reference, the Fifth Beat, the Ghost Submariner. But only one name stuck: the Rolex that holds a secret no collector can explain. Our story begins not in Geneva, not in a luxury boutique, but in a cluttered basement workshop in Boston, where 62-year-old watchmaker and hobbyist historian Henry Morrow spent most of his nights quietly restoring forgotten timepieces. Henry wasn't famous, he wasn't wealthy, and he wasn't trying to impress anyone. He cared only about truth, about the hidden stories behind the watches he repaired. One winter evening, a peculiar visitor arrived at his workshop. A tall man in a loose coat, face half covered by a scarf, holding a small black box wrapped in newspaper. "You fix watches?" the stranger asked. Henry nodded. "If they can be fixed." The man placed the box on the counter, slid it forward, and whispered, "Don't tell anyone you saw this." When Henry opened the box, his heart stopped. Inside was a Rolex Submariner, yet unlike any sub he had ever seen. The bezel was unmarked. The dial was matte black but completely sterile. No text, no coronet, no depth rating. The caseback carried only 3 numbers, hand-engraved with irregular spacing: 397. It was either the world's worst fake, or a prototype so secret that Rolex themselves would deny its existence. Henry looked up to question the man, but the stranger was already gone. That night, he placed the watch on his workbench under bright magnification. At first, he saw nothing unusual, but as he carefully removed the caseback, he froze. The movement inside was unlike anything he had ever encountered. Not a standard Rolex 15X or 30X series. Not even close. This movement had no serial, no maker's marks, and no indication of date. Yet it was more refined and more complex than anything from the era it resembled. And then Henry noticed something chilling. The interior of the caseback had a faded stamp. Unmistakable. A tiny, almost ghost-like Rolex coronet. But next to it, another stamp. A symbol he didn't recognize. It looked like a compass rose, except the north point dipped downward like a blade. Henry spent days researching the mark. He combed through archives, obscure watch forums, declassified military documents. Nothing. No reference. No match. Until he stumbled upon a half-forgotten rumor in an old horology journal. A single paragraph. Barely legible, but enough to make his pulse race. It spoke of a classified joint project from the early 1960s between Rolex and an unnamed naval intelligence division. A watch designed for missions not officially recognized, built to withstand extreme electromagnetic fields, deep pressure, and prolonged submersion beyond civilian limits. The journal referred to it only as Project N397, the same number engraved on the caseback. Henry realized he wasn't holding a fake. He was holding something forbidden, something not meant to survive. According to the article, every prototype from Project N397 was destroyed by order of the division commander, citing unexpected complications. No watch from the program was ever supposed to exist in public hands, yet here it was, on Henry's desk, ticking with unnatural precision. As Henry continued inspecting the movement, a disturbing pattern emerged. Inside the rotor, hidden beneath the winding bridge, was a micro-etched code. 39745. He recognized retrograde, a reversing calibrator. But the rest made no sense. For weeks, Henry sought help. Private messages to collectors, anonymous emails to experts, all politely refused or mysteriously ignored. One even warned him explicitly not to pursue it. Let it go, Henry. Some prototypes were buried for a reason. But he couldn't. He needed to know the truth. One night, while studying the micro-etched markings, the watch suddenly stopped ticking. Not slowly, instantly, as if reacting to something in the environment. Henry brought it close to his ear. Silence. Then, faintly, he felt a vibration. A low, pulsing hum. He checked his tools. Nothing. His phone. Nothing. The air seemed to shift around him like static electricity. And then the watch sprang back to life, beating faster than before, almost feverishly. The next morning, Henry returned to his workshop to find the front door cracked open. Nothing was stolen. Nothing was moved, except the black box. It now sat in the center of the room, placed carefully, deliberately. A warning, a message, or an invitation. Henry sensed eyes on him. He began checking over his shoulder. Cars followed him longer than usual. Strangers lingered near his home. Every instinct told him he was now part of something he didn't understand. 2 weeks later, a letter arrived. No return address. Inside, a single sheet of paper. Stop analyzing the watch. Return it. This is not a collector's piece. Henry knew then. The watch didn't only hold a secret. It was the secret. Something powerful enough that someone somewhere still wanted it hidden. But Henry refused. His obsession grew. He built diagrams, mapped the code, traced the anomalies. He connected 397 to a naval submarine experiment that was rumored to have vanished. He found references to an electromagnetic field test gone wrong. He found whispers that Project N397 wasn't a watch program at all. It was a navigation experiment. A device meant to detect something under the ocean floor, something not supposed to be found, and the last prototype somehow had resurfaced. Henry decided to take the watch apart completely, one final step. He unscrewed the movement plate, lifted the last bridge, and there, behind a wafer-thin metal disc, he saw something impossible. A tiny shielded chamber. Inside it, a microscopic fragment of magnetic material unlike anything cataloged in known engineering. It reacted to heat, it reacted to light, it reacted, terrifyingly, to touch. As Henry held it under a microscope, he understood why the watch behaved the way it did. This wasn't a timepiece. It was a sensor built to detect something that Rolex and the agency they partnered with had never fully understood. Henry realized then that he was in danger. Someone would come for it. Someone would want this secret buried again. He placed the watch back into the box, sealed his workshop, and disappeared from the city. He has not been seen since. And the watch? Some say it resurfaced at a private auction in Switzerland under a fake lot number. Others say it was reclaimed by the same agency that built it. Collectors argue endlessly about whether it even existed at all. But a few, very few, believe the truth. There is one Rolex out there that holds a secret no collector can explain. A watch never meant for civilians, a relic from a project erased from official history, a timepiece designed not to tell time, but to find something. Something still out there, something still undiscovered. And somewhere in the darkness of an unmarked facility or the pocket of a man living under a new identity, that Rolex is still ticking, waiting.